Hello everyone, Rurikhan here, and today I'm just bringing you a little bit of Dark Souls discussion. Not really about PC version versus console version, just Dark Souls in general. Because there's a lot of stuff to Dark Souls that I think that a lot of people don't get. A lot of people just want to get through Dark Souls like it's one of those standard, just one of those standard games that you go through once. That's it, and I get it because I have a lot of two of my friends at least that played through Dark Souls. They played through it once. I've helped them get like all the trophies in the console, and now they're gonna get like the Prepare to Die edition when it comes out for the console. I assume they're gonna play through that content once. They're probably gonna be done with it, and I understand that. But I wanted to tell you guys that there's a lot more to Dark Souls than that, and as a matter of fact, probably a lot of you guys already know. It's just that back in the days, like when a game like, let's say, Diablo 2 came out, I started playing Diablo 2. And whenever I wasn't playing Diablo 2, I was usually thinking about builds. Like, just thinking about the kind of characters that I could create with the kind of variants, you know, the skills, the talent trees, all that kinds of things that you could do, the different characters that you could possibly create to every spectrum of the imagination. And Dark Souls is the game that pretty much took the place of Diablo 2 when it came to that, because it has one of the most robust combat systems I've ever seen in a video game. It's just, the combat system of Dark Souls is amazing because it is a very precise combat system. It's incredibly precise, like the backstabbing, the parrying, the magic, the pyromancies, the faith, the miracles, all that stuff just gives you this really, what I like to call like a sandbox to play in, to just develop new builds and to think about things that you need to include in your builds to defeat certain bosses and whatnot, as well as theme builds, which is where I tend to do a whole lot. And yeah, today I just wanted to talk mostly about builds. So me personally, I like doing a lot of melee type builds. So what you see here is the 3 builds that I'm currently working on. I actually had 2 more builds. As you can see, there's an empty slot here. There's another empty slot here, because then there's the Epic Name Bro playthrough here, which I will not reveal because I believe this will be released before the current state that the character of Epic Name Bro is. So I don't want to like give out any spoilers ahead of time. So this character you guys will not be able to see. And then there's these 3 builds, and I'm going to show you each and every one of them and what these builds were all about. Now the first build that I deleted, I just wanted to tell you guys about it, was that elemental build that you guys probably seen either in my channel or in my live stream. It was the very first live stream footage from Prepare to Die that I have posted. And it was the build where I was doing the elemental weapons dude. And I did not like the result of that build because it seems to be very ineffective in the new content. So I ended up deleting that build. I just didn't like it, and I didn't feel like playing it anymore, so I deleted it. And the other build that was over here was a build that I made with a Silver Knight straight sword, but it was very similar to the Epic Name Bro build. And I ended up just deleting it and just keeping these 3 here to work on. And I'm actually going to be starting a couple of new ones as well. It's just, there's so much diversity to builds that you can do, be it for PvP or PvE. Now, mostly I focus on PvE, and then I just do some PvP with them. But there are so many builds that you can play around with that I just think it's amazing. And I think that a lot of people should think about this so that they can challenge themselves in making new builds and whatnot, be it a themed build or a build they always wanted to try out. Trying out a new build in Dark Souls is just something that I feel that everyone should try out. Even if you've already beaten the game once or twice or whatever, you should always look forward to trying out a new build and experimenting with it. So let me show you the very first one, which is the Artorias build. Now this was the build that I used on my first real commentary of straight up just the DLC, and it is the Artorias build. Now if you guys remember, I used to have actually, or is it? Wow, so much stuff in my inventory. I was actually using the real Greatsword of Artorias, which is this one. And obviously the Artorias' armor, and wow, you can't really see a whole lot in this room because it's really, really dark. Let's go to some place where there's a little bit more light, or at least let's try to. Not sure if that's gonna be Excuse me, not sure if that's going to be possible or not. There's a little bit more light in here. Or even here. Yeah, I guess it's just so dark in Orlando. Even though the sun is up, it's still really, really dark. I wanted to show you guys. But anyways, you guys know what this is. This is the armor from the Artorias of the Abyss, the busted version. There is no real good version of the armor. I also crafted, this is the Great Sword of Artorias, and it's upgraded to +5. As a matter of fact, all the armor is upgraded to +5. This shield is not upgraded to +5 because I was still planning on getting the good shield from Artorias. But it's just, I'm not really enjoying this build so much, to be completely honest. I mean, it was just a themed build, and the only thing I'm missing here is to create the good shield of Artorias. But it's just, I'm not very motivated because ever since I really started on that epic name bro build, I've grown really fond of just parrying attacks, and this build I'm actually working towards getting a great shield, and you can't parry with great shields, you can only bash. So I don't know, I might just leave this build as is like this right now. I also have the busted Abyssal Greatsword, which a lot of people were telling me to craft, and I have, and I'm going to give you the attack animation that everyone seems to enjoy, which is where Artorias kind of does this leap forward, and it has a lot of invincibility frames according to what I'm told, so it's supposed to be really good. It's a lot of fun, this sword. It actually does more damage than the normal Sword of Artorias, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just equip both of them and we can compare. As you can see here, supposedly the Great Sword of Artorias, the normal version, does 497, whereas the one I'm using right now does 457. So supposedly it still does more. The problem is that it's magic damage, and there's a lot of monsters that are highly resistant to magic damage, so it makes it kind of a situational weapon. So if you're working on an Artorias build, I would almost advise you to just go with the busted version of the sword, simply because it seems to make more damage because it's all physical damage, and it scales with strength and dexterity, so you can just dump a whole bunch of strength and dexterity on it, and you can have yourself a decent strength dexterity build. Problem is, if you really want to go for the lore thing, you should use the busted shield of Artorias as well, and just have all the busted stuff of Artorias. The problem with that is that this particular shield only really does 80% block of physical attack. It has a ton of resistances, as you can see, but it is very weak towards physical, only really blocking 80%. You can also just get the real Great Shield of Artorias, which will give you the 100% physical block. But again, I don't know, I'm just not really that motivated to continue this build. Oh yeah, you also have this signature move, which is really cool. The double swirly attack, so to speak. And yeah, even though I really like the theme and whatnot, it's just a build that is a little bit heavy, as you can see. I mean, this is mostly because I'm using the shield, because if I switch back to Silver Knight shield, you're actually... Whoa! I thought I was actually able to roll with that. Oh no, wait, it's because I have 2 swords equipped. There we go. So you can do a medium roll as long as you don't get too heavy. I believe I'm at 40. No, I'm not even at 40 endurance yet, so there's still room to improve a little bit on it. And if you even want to go above and beyond duty, you can get Havel's Ring as well to compensate. But again, it's just a build that I'm just not feeling it right now. So this build is going... I'm not deleting it because it's a good build. It's just, for now, I'm archiving this build and moving on to other things, because I've really grown fond of parrying, which is something that I didn't used to do so much back in the console days. But when I restarted playing Dark Souls, I was like, no, I gotta get this parry thing down, and I started making a whole bunch of dexterity characters. And yeah, I've been experimenting with all that stuff, so yeah. Now, the other character that we have here is called Dexterity. Now, this is a character that was actually leveled on the live stream, and you guys haven't seen it at all, probably, in the YouTube videos, I don't think. So I'm going to show this one to you guys now. Okay, here we go. So the whole point of this build was for me to use the Gold Tracer from Lord's Blade Siren. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's a really fast build, and I like the whole lightsaber effect you get from the Gold Tracer, which is pretty cool. I've killed the 4 kings already with it, and it was pretty damn fast, just wrecking them with power within and whatnot. And I've also changed this build around a bit so that it should be really good with a bow as well. dexterity-wise. Like, for instance, let me just show. This is normal game. It's not New Game Plus or anything, and you can probably get the same results without having to do a specific build for it, but it's a lot of fun. Just check this out. Boom! 428. That guy over there, really far away. I have the hawk ring for it. Let's see if I can find it here. Really far away. Boom! Straight in the face. That guy over there just staring at us. Hey dude, how you doing, man? Boom! Straight to the face. And boom, another one right there. So you guys can see the possibilities of having a lot of fun with this build. At least I hope you can. It's just a lot of fun to just basically snipe people from afar. Like that guy over there, you looking at me? Boom! In the face! Straight in the face. And then I also started killing enemies, like, you know, actually locking on with the bow and then just dodging and stuff and taking them down. And it's just a build that's really, really a lot of fun. And whenever they get too close, or most of the times for boss fights and whatnot, you have the gold tracer. And I have Lord's Blade Siren armor fully enchanted to +5. It's just the way I like to roll. I like to have everything enchanted. The Grass Crest shield is only +13, but I should be getting it to +15 eventually when I pick up this build again. And the only thing really missing right now is Gwyn, because I pretty much destroyed everything else. Manus was a bit of a problem, if I remember correctly, simply because obviously this armor is light armor. It's not really heavy armor, and you guys know that I'm usually rolling with heavy armor and whatnot. So I had a couple of problems with him, but it was really, really a lot of fun. Now we can actually test this bow on the Crestfallen Warrior right here. This guy's gonna just poke you in the face like that. Are you okay, sir? Are you okay? No, drop that shield. Come on, brother. Why you gotta be like that?
Lousy rat. You have some nerve.
Do I?
I may be crestfallen, but I'm not defenseless, you rascal.
Lol.
You will soon regret this.
He just keeps dodging. Let's see if we can hit him. Oh, I was also using Leo's ring, because I believe that it works for the bow. I'm not 100% sure, though. Poke. And poke. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to play around with the bow, lock on to people, slaughter them down. It's just fun. Like, look, I'm even going to kill Petrus here as well. Thing is, Petrus also has a shield, right? Yeah, he's going to be defending a lot of our stuff. But let's just poke him in the eyes right there. Like, how you feeling today, Petrus? Feeling good? Boom! In the face. Here's another one. Pick this up quick. Boom! Oh, you were too slow. So yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had with this bow build. Oh, wow. He actually hadn't killed the maiden yet. Did I even free the maiden? I might have just let her there to rot. Yeah, I probably left her there to rot, so I still have to go save the maiden. But yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had with this build, and you can also put up Power Within if that's something that you like. So yeah, it's just a build that I've been trying out. Although I have been reaching the conclusion that it seems that if you really want to do a just bow build, and you want to also eventually get Goff's Great Bow or something like that, you should really go with a strength dex hybrid, which was weird to me because I figured, you know, the best bow build should be dexterity, but it seems that composite's damage is just amazing, and even if it's not for the composite, you should still get it just for Goff's Great Bow, because Goff's Great Bow scales B with strength. So yeah, I was actually planning on using Goff's Great Bow with this character, even though I hadn't really seen the requirements on the bow, and I hadn't seen basically the bow stats. And when I saw them, I was like, so this build is useless, because I mean, let's face it, we got like 40 dexterity already. We're just like so stuck into dexterity, no strength whatsoever. So it's like meh. But it's still a really fun build, and I advise you guys to try it out if that's something that you guys are into, fooling around with bows and whatnot. It was also a great learning experience because it was the first time I ever played a dexterity character. And then we have this build, which is the final build that I'm going to be showing you, which is the updated version of the dwarf with the stuff from the DLC. Because, yeah, well, basically I changed more than just the stuff from the DLC. Wow, I'm in a really bad place to show this off. Maybe I should just go to the arena here. I'm not sure if it has enough light so that you guys can really see how cool it looks. I'm hoping it has. Yeah, it has decent lighting. Well, not really. I probably came here to kill Quelaag. Damn it, I wish I had prepared these characters to show you guys this stuff. Would have been a lot more efficient than just now running around trying to figure out the best light, the locations with the best light. I mean, the best place to show off characters is definitely Firelink Shrine, but I still don't have the Lord Vessel in this character because it's in New Game Plus. But anyways, let's talk about the changes. So for starters, Goth's armor, because that definitely will make any character look like a dwarf. As you can see, it's all really in the chest plate. Like if I unequip the chest plate, as you can see, it looks perfectly normal. But once you equip that chest plate, it's like dwarf all the way. So as you can see, this is the new dwarven build type thing. Let's try to get some light in here with... Yeah, and you guys probably seen me do some PvP with this build. It was unintentional. It was just, I got invaded and I had to defend myself, so that's pretty much what happened. And damn you, mosquito. Wow, almost got poisoned there. Yeah, in case you guys are wondering what my stats are with this stuff, I'm just going to put this here and you guys can pause and have a look at it if that's something you guys are really into for the new dwarven build. And I got a medium roll. I am wearing Havels and Rofap, Ring of Favor and Protection. I've also got a Pyromancy Flame. I've been upgrading it, but it's not like I'm really planning on upgrading because I believe you don't need upgrading to work with Power Within. I'm not 100% sure. But I got 2 charges of Power Within, so that's nice. When you want to really take down stuff, you just pop Power Within and your attack just goes up ridiculously. I'm not sure if it shows. Like right now, weapon damage 601. Use Power Within. Not sure if this reflects in your stats. No, it doesn't. It's unfortunate. But as you guys know, Power Within does give you excessive short strength / endurance boost, but lose HP. So it gives you a little bit more strength and increases your damage because this weapon scales with strength. Now you guys must be wondering, well, where the hell is Smo's hammer? The reason I'm not using Smo's hammer is because I like this axe a lot more. And someone called to my attention the other day during my live stream that this axe actually has some really nice ornaments, as you guys can see here. And that is just so typical of dwarven craftsmanship that they ornament all of their stuff. So I was like, yeah, this is definitely a really cool looking dwarven weapon. It looks even more dwarvish than Smo's hammer. And it doesn't require as much strength to equip in one hand, which is something I like. So, yeah, it's definitely a really cool axe for a dwarven build. Unfortunately, its scaling is not one of the best weapons if you really want to go for min-maxing. Its scaling is only B, I believe. Yeah, B scaling with strength. It's still pretty decent. I believe I've compared this with, what was it? I think it was the Demon Great Axe, which supposedly has the highest scaling for strength. And at 50 strength, the demon Great Axe only had like 30 more damage or something, and at 99 strength it was like 70 more damage. So I was like, meh, I'll do a little bit more damage, but I'll look a lot cooler because this thing just looks cool. Now let's talk about shields. As I told you guys in the Artorias build, when I was showing you the Artorias build, I've grown a big fan of parrying, which ever since I started fooling around with Dexterity builds, I just want to parry everything. So I wanted to get like a shield that could parry, but it had to be a dwarven looking shield. So the first thing that came to mind is that, well, dwarves usually tend to use round shields most of the time, if they're not round, they're probably like big square shields, like tower shields, but you can't parry with tower shields, and I wanted to parry. So I started thinking, how about the Sunbro shield? Sunbro shield is a pretty good round shield. The problem is that it's just got a picture of the sun, and that's it, which is not very dwarvish. Then I reminded myself, wait a second, there's that other round shield that you can get. Problem with this round shield is that it's a little bit small, but I think it looks cool with the build because, again, this is a themed build. It's not really a stats-based build. It's just dwarven, so it's like strength and vitality that's going to be the main dumps. But I thought this small iron shield that you get from, what's his face? The guy from the Hunter Forest, and now I can't remember his name. I always know his name. Yeah, Shiva of the East. So if you kill him, you get to have this shield. And also the good thing about this shield that you guys might not know is that this shield makes attacks bounce off like if you have a large shield, like, you know, when you have those really big, bulky shields like Artorias' shield or the Eagle shield, or I'm not sure if the Eagle shield still does it since it's been nerfed, but let's go to one of the other ones, like the Giant's shield that I had in my previous dwarf build. You know, when people hit you, it bounces back because your shield is really, really big. So that creates an opening for you to attack back, for a counterattack. And normally small shields don't do that, but this one does it, and I believe it's the only one who does it. So when something hits you, it actually gets their weapons bounced back for hitting on your shield, which is a really good thing, and you can still parry with it. So I was like, man, this just has Dwarven all over it. And if you look at the thickness of it, look at how thick it is. It is one of the thickest small shields in the game. So I'm like, yep, thick means Dwarvish. Dwarvish want like thick, really thick armor. Another good touch is that if you want to be like, if your character, if you want to theme it around like Dwarven Slayer, you still can, because this has a really kind of tribal look to it on your left shoulder, because it basically has almost no armor on your left shoulder, so it looks kind of barbaric, kind of Slayer-like. So yeah, Goff's armor, I just fell in love with it, and I just made this build all around it. Now, if you guys are wondering about my stats, because I know that a lot of you also enjoy the Dwarven playthroughs that I've done, and you enjoy the Dwarven playstyle. So if you want to get some more stats on that, I'm running with 40 Vitality, 40 Endurance. Now I'm kind of just dumping everything into Strength. The reason I have 12 Dexterity was to get enough Dexterity to wield a bow. The bow I'm wielding here is the composite bow, which is where I kind of started getting the idea to make a build just around bows, because at one point I was just fooling around with the dwarf, just like shooting people and poo, poo, poo with the bow, and I just got the idea, and then that's when I started playing it with it on Dexterity. But yeah, let's go back to stats. So you got 40 Vitality, 12 attunements, so that you can have 2 attunement slots, so that you can have lost within power within twice. You have 40 endurance, because that's when your stamina bar stops increasing. You have 45 strength, the 12 dexterity, and the rest is just base. This was a bandit character, which is why you see the 10 faith over there. And pretty much now what I'm going to do is dump my points into strength all the way up to 50. Once I get to 50, I'm going to start doing 1 vitality, 1 strength, because dwarves are also resilient, so I want to have a lot of hit points. And it's just a Dwarven playstyle, and it's really fun. You guys should really try it out. Now, as for equipment, we just got Goff's armor, the Iron Round Shield, which you get from Shiva. We got the Pyromancy Flame, Composite Bow, because it scales with Strength. It is scaling C Strength and C Dexterity. We've also got the Great Axe at plus 15. And that is pretty much it. That is what you need to play the Dwarven style. And let me tell you, it's just a lot of fun, because you make a lot of damage. You can still parry with this shield, so you can work on your parries and whatnot. And you just look like a badass dwarf all the friggin' time. And that is just something that I really enjoy. Also, for you guys that then think, oh, but there are certain bosses where I like to be able to move faster. Do not worry, because I have an alternate version of the armor, which is you put on Wanderer Hood, you put on the Robe of the Great Lord, the Gauntlets of the Channelers. This is not upgraded yet, but it will be. And this is the light version of the Dwarven build, which means that with the stats that you have, this is like a lighter version for when you want to run fast and get that quick roll. This is what you can do, and it still kind of looks like a dwarf. You can call this like the Dwarf Ranger, and the other one like the Dwarf Soldier or something. So this one will just make you be faster, pretty much, as you can see. You have the quick roll, you have the quick run, you have everything for the fastest play style. And it's good for when you're doing repetitive farming runs or something like that. You can just pop this baby in. But yeah, it's the lighter version of the dwarf thing. And it gives you the quick roll with a dwarf, and it still looks pretty damn good. Now, what I do need to do is to enchant this Wanderer Hood, Gauntlets of the Channelers, and Iron Leggings, so that I'll have maximum armor and defenses that I can possibly have with this. And also, this is a nice set when you're going against Seath, because when you have Goff's Helm, let's see here, when you have Goff's stuff, your curse resistances kind of suck. It's only 60, so it kind of sucks. And you want to be careful with that because you don't want to get cursed when you go to Seath. So if you want to go to Seath, you can just equip the alternate version, and your curse resistance goes up to 102, which is pretty decent. Should allow you to kill Seath without any major problems. Obviously, you're going to be taking a little bit more damage, but then again, the dwarven build has so much hit points that you can just run around with this armor all the time. The reason I don't is just because, I mean, Golf's armor just looks sick for a dwarf. And now that we're done talking about dwarfs, this is all I really had to say about builds in Dark Souls. Try out your own builds. Make videos about the builds that you've created. I mean, show everyone the builds that you're working on and stuff like that. It's just kind of cool. I like watching all of these different builds and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm actually working on another build. I'm actually working on, and by working I mean like on my head, thinking about these 2 other builds that I want to do themed around Solaire. So yeah, I'm probably going to be working on one of those today later on. Not sure if I'm going to stream it or not. This video might even not be going up in the day that I'm recording it, so don't take too much of it. But yeah, Dwarven build, Artorias build, Dexterity build, Epic Name Bro build, and I had 2 more other builds that I created and that I've deleted. And this is just because the PC version has been released at so little time ago that I haven't had time to make a whole lot of builds. Just 5 of them, 6 if you count the ENB one, which is still not finished. But yeah, this is Rurikhan on Dark Souls builds. You guys should really try out all the different builds, all the different combinations that you can do with weapons, magics, buffs, all the kinds of stuff that you can really pull off. Just try it out. Just try it out and have a blast with it, because there's a lot of fun to be had exploring these different builds and different play styles and whatnot. And I would really suggest people that enjoy watching my videos to do that kind of stuff. And also in the comment section, go ahead and tell people the kind of builds that you're working on. I want to read about the builds that you created. And if I find one that I think it's going to suit my play style, I may just create it myself and maybe show it off later on someday. But yeah, this has been Rurikhan with some more Dark Souls content for you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.